Hello, beautiful souls. Calista here with another video all about spiritual practice. This time, do you feel that you have no time to meditate, no time to sit with yourself, enjoy your flavor of spiritual practice? Well, do this instead. And this is a video dedicated to those of you who are super busy, who truly want to meditate, want to cultivate and create that time with yourself, but feel like you don't have the time. Maybe you are a busy single mother like I am, and you also run a business. Maybe you're a caregiver. Maybe you just spend so much other time doing other passions and other things that are important to you. Or maybe you spend a lot of time scrolling on social media or TV. This video is not about shaming or blaming. It is simply to help you to bring greater awareness as to where your energy and your focus and your time is being spent. And we're going to look at ways that you can bring a little bit of practicality to audit your time. I'm going to be sharing a method to help you. So you might want to get a notepad and pen, or just pause this recording if you're watching it on the replay, or if you're watching live, welcome. Go and gather that now and come back in, because we're going to be going through an audit process. But also I want to talk about emotional support, mental support, and also spiritual practices that can help you to enjoy your bigger spiritual practice, time to meditate, time to be with yourself. So all of this is going to be in the video. But before we get into it, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, friends, especially if you want to join these weekly spiritual practice deep dives. Often we go into ascension updates, talk about different spiritual beings that we're connecting with or can connect with every Monday on this channel. So to get notified, make sure that you are subscribed. And I also got a message yesterday saying, Calista, I love all the new content, the new meditations that come out every Thursday on the channel, but there's ads that are coming in between the meditation. Can you help? And I empathize how annoying that is, friends. I really do. Some guided journeys that I've enjoyed on YouTube here, all of a sudden you're just totally in the moment. And then there's an advert, and it's so jarring, especially to our nervous system, and it takes us out of that space of alignment. But I just want to tell you, I have no control over the ads going on the channel. There's a couple of options here. You can subscribe to ad-free YouTube, or you can help me to bring more people to the channel by sharing the videos, because once we reach a certain amount of watch hours, then I can monetize the channel and basically pick when the adverts are going to show. And let me tell you, the adverts will never show during the meditation journey. That is my promise to you, beautiful soul. That will never, ever happen. I don't believe in that at all. This channel is service from my heart to yours. I'm not here to make money, and I certainly don't want to break your beautiful journey and meditation with a blooming advert. So help me to by subscribing and sharing the videos. But let's just dive in today. So there's a few things that I want to say about helping you to create that time to meditate. But first, maybe feel into why you want to meditate. Why do you want to create that space, that pause throughout your day to tune in to yourself? We know that there's so many different benefits to meditation: increased focus, stress reduction, boosting our immunity. For me, meditation gives me a pause between being a mum, being a really busy single mama, to working with students and working with clients. It's a time where it's just for me. And that time is so, so precious, and we all deserve that time. It's also a pathway to understand where we're being stuck, where we're being rigid, and where we're holding on to limiting beliefs and patterns, old trauma and stories that are from the past that are still influencing our current and life decisions, whether small or big, so we can help to not be influenced by the past and also not be influenced by what's being bombarded to us on the media, also all over social. And before creating this video for you friends, I just wanted to do a little bit of research into the amount of hours an average person is on social media, and wait for it, it's absolutely staggering. And I know that we can all, unless maybe you don't know this, but you can go into your phones and you can see how much time you're devoting to being on the screen. And on average, again, there's no shame here, just to bring awareness. On average, people spend between 2.5 hours to a whopping 8 hours on social media every day, just checking it. And on average, people check their phone 159 times. And another statistic, I'm not going to bore you with all the stats, but this one is huge. So this year alone, 2024, 4 trillion hours. 4 trillion hours, our collective time, will be spent blooming, scrolling, and on social media, when we could be connected with ourselves, creating what's most important, following our dreams, and bringing so much joy, so much love as we join each other and create a better earth for all. We can be doing that rather than on our screen. So let's just talk a little bit, first of all, about auditing your time. And this is a really practical way to look at, okay, how can you create that time? And I understand if you do have a lot of obligations and responsibilities, I totally get it. I understand. And for many years, I was caught in that mental trap because I wasn't spending time to meditate. I was so in my stuckness, in my mental stuckness. And I thought, how can I, while still leading courses and writing spiritual books, I wasn't being authentic. I wasn't walking my talk because I was spending all my time catering for the needs of others, children, clients, community, and not on my own path, not on my own wellness, on my own connection with my spirit. So I get it. I totally get it, because those excuses and those stories are so alluring. But let's just do a little exercise to bring a little bit of awareness as to where you are spending your time, friends. And again, this is not an opportunity to berate yourself, to judge yourself, to shame yourself. This is literally just to help you go, oh, okay, I'm spending this and this and this time on these activities. Okay, this is where I can just audit that and bring more time to myself. And yeah, by doing this exercise, this is something that I do on a regular basis, and I invite you to do it every month, friends. And let's just do it right now. So if you have a pen and paper, get that out. I've already written mine down here. Okay, so I want you to write down, first of all, in your notepad, what are your non-negotiables? Spending time with your family, walks in nature, or connecting with nature. Here is my daily meditation. Now I've made it a non-negotiable, but maybe it's not for you yet. Maybe it's your workout. Maybe it's meal prepping, depending on what isn't most important to you. It will be your non-negotiable, and these we do not touch. So write that down. What are the non-negotiables for you in your life right now? And then I want you to write down automation. What can you automate to give yourself back some time? And that could be ordering your weekly food shop online, or using your calendar more to schedule events. If you work with clients or you're coaching and you don't use an online calendar, you could do that rather than going back and forward on emails. Automate payments. Just have a look at where you can save yourself some time. And I know this is very practical, and we'll get to the spiritual support in a moment. The third is, what can you delegate? What can you delegate that you do every day or on a weekly basis to other people? Can you delegate someone to take over some menial tasks? Some tasks that maybe take up more of your time, where you could be spending uh, time with yourself, time meditating. And again, you can use this list and this technique for anything. If you want to write a book, if you want to launch your new business or your new website or whatever it's important to you, you can use this list, writing out your non-negotiables, writing what you can automate, writing out what you can delegate, maybe hiring a coach or a mentor. I've written down here asking my mum to bathe the kids after school a couple of times a week. Just taking a little bit of all of that adds up. All the mums here and all the single dads here will know exactly what I mean, how much time is spent on our kids. And while I want to have valuable time with my kids, there's some things that I can ask my mum to help, and she's quite happy to help, so that's great. Okay, number 4 is what you can eliminate. What you can eliminate, friends, is that reaching for your phone first thing in the morning. And how much time do you spend scrolling before you've even got out of bed? Again, no shaming here. This is something that I used to do. Scrolling, social media, can you put your phone on quiet mode at certain times of the day? Can you limit your screen time? Can you delete some apps on your phone? And it doesn't have to be for long term. It could be, say, for the next 3 months, so you can cultivate a consistent habit of daily meditation, of your daily spiritual practice, and leave these activities for now. It might be TV. On average, people spend between 2.5 hours to 6 hours a day on TV. And if you couple that with how much time on social media, wow. And I said in the last video how much our consciousness is programmed by everything around, by all the stimulus around, what we're listening to, what we're watching through programs, literally being programmed. People that watch a lot of TV, and I used to be like addicted to Netflix after the kids went to bed. That was my relaxing time. It wasn't really relaxing, it was numbing myself, it was vegetating. In a way, it was very much self-soothing, but in the same time, all of that energy from everything that I'm watching and all those EMFs, all the electromagnetic frequencies that have been emitted from the TV aren't good for you. And studies have shown that people that watch a lot of TV, it can lead to anxiety, depression, Parkinson's, dementia, as well as our consciousness. It's not alive, it's being numbed, it's being soothed. And again, no shame here, but is there a way that you can reduce your TV time or take off things like Netflix? Little confession, I took off Netflix. I took off the Disney Channel. I took off quite a lot actually on the TV. My kids weren't too happy about that. We still have movie time once a week and all of that, all about the balance. However, I reinstated Netflix just for Bridgerton. Hands up who likes Bridgerton here. Let me know in the comments. But I've since deleted it again. So it's okay to give yourself time. It's okay maybe like once a week to say to yourself, I'm going to sit down and watch a movie, or have this scheduled time and use it as a form of treating yourself rather than a means of self-soothing. Because here's the thing, once you start meditating and tuning in and meeting yourself every day, you will realize that you don't need to self-soothe anymore. You will arrive to the root of, why do you feel like you want to do that in the first place? What are you ignoring? What is being smothered by the dopamine hit of TV and social media? Allowing yourself to become more alive, more bloody awake. And do you not agree that we need more people that are awake, that are aware, that are conscious, fully alive, and wanting to co-create rather than just simply being anesthetized and numbed by TV and screen time? It might be something else for you. Maybe in your eliminations, it is people that you connect with once a week that you kind of feel like you should connect with them because maybe they're like old friends. However, after being in their company, you always feel drained, or they gossip a lot and you just feel that toxicity. Maybe you just want to reduce time with them. So have a look. Audit your time. Do this on a regular basis, friends, because it really will help. And for me, through that exercise I did yesterday, I'm able to get back 15 hours per week. 15 hours per week. And I've made my spiritual practice, my meditation, a non-negotiable. Those 15 hours are towards something that I want to actually create for us all, for those who are ready and are feeling it anyway. And it's an online sisterhood. It's a sacred membership, and I'll be talking about that when it's ready. But for now, I'm going to be focusing 15 hours a week. I've been able to pull that back, and I can infuse that into that creation. So it's gold. It's amazing. But back to meditating, friends. If you have arrived at this video and you don't meditate on a regular basis and you don't know where to begin, just start small. Start with a simple breath awareness exercise where you're focusing on the rising and the falling of your breath, or the in and the out of your breath. Because using your breath, something that we have available to us all the time, it's also that rhythm, that touchstone that brings us back into that sense of awareness, back into that sense of connection with ourselves. So just focusing 3 to 5 minutes. That's all it takes. 3 to 5 minutes. Slow, deep breathing. And if you're a visual person, you can couple that with visualizing yourself perhaps at a beach. And as the water is coming in, you're breathing in, and as the water is flowing back out, you're exhaling, and just allow yourself. And you could change that scene wherever you like to be in nature. Change the scene and allow your breath to just naturally sink to whatever element is most abundant in this imaginary yet very much real place that you are creating. And I would say, for those of you who are more beginners here, or maybe you just want to reconnect with your spirituality, reconnect with your daily meditation time, is meditate at the same time every day. And if you can, in the same place every day, because that physical space is like a memory. It will stimulate that muscle memory when you're in that area. Or if you have like a little ritual, you light specific incense, you sit in a certain place, it's at the same time every day. And here's another thing that might help. I don't have it here, but there is this white shawl that I often wear when I meditate. And because I've wrapped it around myself and went into that space of consciousness, of awareness, it is imprinted. The fabric is energetically imprinted with meditating. So wearing it becomes this magical shawl of, okay, it's not busy time anymore. It's not Calista making dinner and doing emails and doing this. This is time that is beyond Calista, beyond identities. This is the space. This is the space behind it all. Pure loving awareness. And I wrap myself in that. So you might want to get yourself something. And it could be a blanket. I know people have meditation blankets. I've got directly opposite here, I've got a beanbag. I like to sit on a big pink velvet beanbag, and I just like to sit there. And I'm not going to lie, often my cat comes over and she disturbs it and she sits on there, and I think she just really likes the peace of that space as well. So sometimes I'm plucking off all of her black hairs before I sit down. But you know what? It's absolutely fine. Just bring some humor. And know that your cats or your dogs or your children, often the kids will come in and they'll always go over to that area because, again, it's imprinted. It's imprinted with the consciousness of relaxation and connection. And if one particular day that you want to meditate, but you can't for whatever reason, Be okay with that. Don't judge yourself. Don't get down on yourself. It's okay. Allow yourself just to be flexible. And sometimes, friends, honestly, even though I've got my non-negotiable lists, some days I can't even have a shower because just of circumstance. My eldest with his ADHD, sometimes I'm up all night with him with nightmares. Plus, he's in the he's at the stage in his development where he's seeing spirit all the time. So he's been bombarded with spirit groups and spirit entities coming in at night time. And in the waking state, he can deal with that and he sees them. But at night time, he goes back into more of just being in a child's mind. He's only 9 years old, so he gets freaked out. And so often up through the night with him, and then up at 5 o'clock. I haven't had much sleep, and sometimes I just don't get a shower, or I don't get, and then that has a knock-on effect. Everything then is affected, especially my spiritual practice. And then some days, I'm not going to lie, some days that gets to me. Some days I feel bad about that. Just like I said, don't do that. I'm just also bringing that to myself. But other days where I remember and my inner being goes, come on, when I'm washing the dishes, I'll just focus on my breath, just that slowing down, on the rising and the falling, or like box breathing, where you breathe in for 5, hold for 5, out for 5, hold for 5, just like a box, 5, 5, 5, and 5, or whatever breath pattern suits you. But you can make any practice, whether washing the dishes or applying more mindfulness to eating or walking outside, that can be your meditation. Sometimes my meditation is sitting outside listening to the birds. Whatever it takes, whatever flavor, whatever way it shows up for you every day, enjoy it. It's your time. It is your time. And a lot of my clients will use guided meditations. And while that's amazing, and there are so many beautiful guided meditations on different apps here on YouTube, I share one every Thursday as well that you can check out. I guess I'm doing myself a disservice here by saying this, but balance it with time away from media, away from anybody else's vibration, other technology, and just be. Whether it's listening to the birds if you feel like you need something, or a ticking clock, or whatever it is, allow yourself just to be focusing on your breath, coming into that space of no thingness, and just enjoy and meet yourself and see what is created. And then you understand that even though we're talking about what if you have no time to meditate, but you want to meditate, you actually find through this practice, meeting yourself every day, that you realize there is really no time. You're just in the flow. And you've created this habitual flow where the daily meditation, your daily practice is your non-negotiable. It becomes part of you. It doesn't become something to do, something to tick off your list. It's not a chore. You're not doing it as a form of enlightenment, because even just trying to be enlightened or having that as an aspiration or desire actually will never bring you to the stage of enlightenment, because enlightenment is just another trap. It's just another way of desiring something. Instead, come into the space of pure loving awareness where you remember that you are already enlightened. You are already an avatar. You are already a conscious, connected, multifaceted, multidimensional being. And you can put on these hats of mother and coach and author and all of these things, but beyond it all, there is a you, and that you deserves time, whatever time is, like we said, but it deserves that opportunity to be experienced in its fullness. And so if you take anything else from this video, take that, friends. Give that to yourself. And know, truly, that is a gift that you're giving everybody. Everybody, because we want your full self. We want your alive self. We want your awakened self. Okay? So I will leave you here with that, friends. Let me know what has been most valuable, what's landed the most for you in your heart space from what has been shared in the comments below. And remember to subscribe, and I will see you again in the next video. So much love.